when my husband was in the state Senate serving with Senator Chuck Purgason, I remember getting annoyed that people half the time didn't even know because he'd have a bill that I thought was all big and important, and nobody knew about it because they were paying attention to what is happening on the national level. And so we have in studio today with us candidate for the U.S. Senate, Chuck Purgason. Welcome to the Dr. Gina Show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's nice to have you in studio because I know, especially when you have a whole state to cover, that's not easy to get here. So we do appreciate it. And the first thing I just want to ask you about, because I don't know if you know, but I originated this boycott concept, and the first thing we boycotted, which is the opposite of a boycott, it's supporting a business or somebody that cares about the free market, basically coming to the defense of those who are operating in that context. The first boycott I did was of Whole Foods. The second one I did was of Ford, because Ford happened to be the only remaining not government-owned company. And now I read that Senator Purgason has a bill concerning Ford, and I want you to talk to us about it.
Well, I have a Ford too, so I have a 2000 Ford that has 175,000 miles on it, so I believe in Ford products too. But what it is the future of economic development in the state of Missouri. You know, for a long time, the way we approach economic development is we deem upon special industries and special groups tax credits or tax ways that the government doles out favors. And this is simply a situation that we've been doing since the 90s, giving out tax credits. We currently give out over $700 million a year in tax credits. And, I believe in free market, and instead of coming in and rewarding one business with special favors, why don't we create a level playing field so all businesses, regardless of what size, can go out and compete in basically what is a free market system. So instead of the legislature, which I think is a government way of trying to create jobs, of rewarding one company with tax breaks, let's just do it statewide, regardless of what size your business is, and allow small businesses to do what they do best and go out and grow and create jobs.
Well, it's interesting because I think that, for people like myself, I think, oh my goodness, if there's one company I would want to help, it would be the company that is not as dependent on, at least not owned by the federal government. But what you're saying is you just think there just needs to be that line, and it needs to be our policy that the government leaves businesses alone, I guess.
Well, what's the difference between a federal bailout for GM Chrysler and a state bailout for Ford? It's all public money. It's all public tax dollars. That's money that comes out of your and my pocket to give to someone else instead of me being able to invest it in my own company. So, it just depends on what level it is. It's all government money and politicians deciding where we're going to spend it. As constitutionalists and people that believe in the free market system, the place that the money is more wisely spent is for the people that earn it and leave it in their pocket and let them go out and stimulate the economy instead of picking winners and losers.
Well, and it's interesting, you were quoted in the Post-Dispatch, and you said, apparently we don't understand that what we've been doing isn't working, and our answer is to keep doing the same thing. And that's also the definition of insanity.
Insanity.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Well, drive by, we're looking at this plant in Kansas City. Drive by Fenton over here and see 5 million square feet for rent from that Chrysler company that's gone. Look at the Hazelwood plant that's gone. How many times do we have to go through this before we figure out that government does a very poor job of creating jobs? And in fact, when a government creates jobs, it's usually bureaucrats and red tape that puts businesses at a disadvantage and a higher cost to small businesses across the state.
There are 3.5 million voters in our state, and most will never have an opportunity to meet you or even see your campaign ads. What do you want people to know about who Chuck Purgason is?
I'm a small business owner who began my own Tea Party back in 1995 when I got frustrated with government. It was frustrating that I had a small business, that the harder I worked, the more hours I worked, and the more people I hired, the more I was penalized by the government for doing it. And so I started my own Tea Party in 95, and hopefully that we've got a whole bunch more people that are waking up and beginning to understand that the direction we're going is the wrong direction. We need to turn things around.
All right. And will you stay with us for just a moment? Because I want to come back. I want to talk some more about your race and also about a proposition you are promoting. So stay with us here on The Dr. Gina Show.